In the wreckage of South Africa's economy, BEE stands as a monumental failure, a policy that has not only failed to deliver on its promises, but has actively destroyed prosperity for the masses while lining the pockets of a tiny ANC elite. Originally touted as a tool to transform the nation and redress apartheid's injustices, BEE has instead shattered a once strong economy, degraded world-class state-owned enterprises through corrupt deals that siphoned millions from taxpayers, and plunged poor black South Africans into even deeper poverty. Unemployment has exploded far beyond pre-1994 levels, now exceeding 33%, swelling the ranks of the disadvantaged and proving the ANC's utter incompetence in governance. BEE is the gaping hole sinking the South African ship. Yet proponents like President Ramaphosa and now the Black Business Council cling to it with baffling defiance, rejecting sensible reforms like the DA's Economic Inclusion for All bill. Before I delve deeper, it's crucial to clarify. This video is in no way racist, nor is the sentiment behind it intended to be. The criticism here is squarely aimed at the ANC and their economically destructive policies, including the disastrous BEE framework that has harmed South Africans of all backgrounds. Opposition to BEE stems from its proven failures in practice, not from any racial bias. Unfortunately, many who ignorantly continue to support this flawed system reflexively pull the race card when faced with legitimate critiques, dodging the real issues of corruption, inefficiency, and widespread suffering it has caused. BEE's proponents peddle it as a beacon of transformation, but the reality is a nightmare of corruption and economic sabotage. What began as an idealistic effort to empower the historically disadvantaged has devolved into a racket that enriches ANC cadres and their cronies, leaving the truly needy, poor black South African communities worse off than ever. SOEs, once paragons of efficiency, have been gutted by BEE-fueled theft, with billions vanishing into private pockets while services crumble. The ANC's lack of political will and basic governing ability has turned BEE into a weapon of mass economic destruction, deterring investment, killing jobs, and fostering a culture of fraud that has crippled growth to a pathetic 1% average over the last decade. Critics rightly slam it as a parasitic system, with social media users branding figures like Ramaphosa as prime beneficiaries who have amassed fortunes off this sham. The previously disadvantaged are now the perpetually disadvantaged, their numbers ballooning as BEE's defenders bury their heads in the sand, ignoring the policy's role in South Africa's downward spiral. But what can be done against BEE? In a bold strike against this destructive status quo, the DA introduced the Economic Inclusion for All bill on October 20, 2025, aiming to dismantle BEE's race-based favoritism and replace it with a poverty-focused framework that actually empowers people. This new bill seeks to repeal all racial preferential procurement under the Public Procurement Amendment Act of 2024, introducing incentives for real empowerment through skills development, small business support, and opportunities in impoverished areas, without the divisive racial quotas that have strangled efficiency and growth. Now, key provisions include scrapping racial mandates ending preferences for black-owned firms that have bred inefficiency and corruption, focusing instead on merit and need. Poverty-centric incentives, prioritizing tangible outcomes like job creation and community upliftment to put people before cadres, as DA policy head Matthew Cuthbert aptly puts it. Economic revival potential, offering a genuine lifeline by attracting investment and potentially tripling growth through infrastructure reforms. Despite being part of the Government of National Unity, the DA refuses to rubber stamp the ANC's failed policies, highlighting the bill as essential to rescuing South Africa from BEE's clutches. Undeterred by the mounting evidence of BEE's devastation, President Cyril Ramaphosa has doubled down in its defense, arrogantly dismissing critics and insisting it's rooted in the Constitution and indispensable for growth. In a statement on October 21, 2025, he bafflingly claims opposition to BEE is inexplicable, peddling the myth that it's an engine of growth, rather than the brake that stalled the economy. Ramaphosa rejects the DA's proposal outright, refusing to entertain race-neutral alternatives and ignoring how BEE chases away investors while perpetuating inequality. His stubborn stance, echoed in parliamentary defences against figures like Freedom Front Plus leader Corne Mulder, exposes the ANC's myopic commitment to a policy that's not just ineffective, but actively harmful. Economists like Davy Root aren't mincing words. BEE is killing South Africa. Yet Ramaphosa and his allies remain willfully blind. Adding to the chorus of misguided defenders, the Black Business Council has outright rejected the DA's bill, ludicrously claiming it undermines transformation and inclusive growth, as if BEE hasn't already done that and more. BBC President Elias Managi, in discussions with ENCA, embodies the entrenched interests propping up this failed system, viewing any reform as a threat rather than a salvation. This rejection aligns with the ANC's vow to not scrap BBBEE, further entrenching a policy that's enriched elites at the nation's expense. Such opposition from BEE's beneficiaries only underscores how the policy serves the few, not the many, perpetuating destruction under the guise of empowerment. The Economic Inclusion for All Bill represents a critical, if overdue, challenge to BEE's reign of ruin, promising a shift to inclusive, merit-based policies that could finally unlock South Africa's potential. Yet, with fierce pushback from Ramaphosa, the BBC, and the ANC's old guard, its passage seems an uphill battle in the fragile GNU. While it addresses core flaws like elite capture and stagnation, success depends on overcoming the aggressive defense of a system that's utterly destroyed lives and livelihoods. South Africa can't afford more years of BEE's toxicity. Reform must prevail, or the ship will sink for good. If you have any thoughts on this, please add them to the comments section. And thank you for watching. And if you found any value in this video, please do like, share, and subscribe. And I will catch you in the next video.